On the evening of October 3rd, 2021, Claire Nolan finished her shift at Elmridge General Hospital at exactly 11:47 p.m. Surveillance footage showed her walking out the employee entrance, waving to the night janitor, and getting into her forest green Subaru Outback. She drove out a lot, heading east on Millstone Road, the two-lane strip that weaved past the woods and into the heart of the town. She never made it home. By morning, Claire's neighbor noticed her porch light still on and her car missing. By noon, her sister Erin, who lived a few blocks away, reported her missing. It wasn't like Claire to disappear. She was the kind of person who texted if she was running late for coffee. Reliable, grounded, loved. In Elmridge, a town of just over 6,000 people nestled in Oregon's foggy timberlands, word of her disappearance spread like a chill. Within 24 hours, search parties were organized, flyers printed, and a missing persons report hit every local news broadcast. At first, the case appeared random, perhaps a carjacking or an abduction by someone passing through. But what began as a presumed crime of opportunity would, over the next few weeks, unravel a far darker truth, one that would rip open the polished image of Claire Nolan and expose something the town of Elmridge was never prepared to face. Claire Nolan was 33 years old, a nurse for 10 years. People called her the Saint of Elmridge behind her back. She volunteered at the senior center, dropped off meals to single moms, ran a CPR training program for teens. She lived alone in a modest bungalow inherited from her grandmother. She had no children, no husband, no enemies, or so it seemed. Her life appeared spotless. That's what made the first clue so strange. 2 days after she disappeared, Claire's car was found abandoned in the woods outside Elmridge, near an old logging trail that hadn't been used in years. Inside the car, her phone was smashed and hidden under the passenger seat. Her keys were gone. Her purse was there, but empty, except for a note wedged behind the glove box. I couldn't live with what I knew. Detectives weren't sure what to make of it. Suicide was considered, but there was no body, no history of depression. Claire had made plans that week: lunch with her sister, a vet appointment for her cat, a CPR class scheduled for Friday. No one writes a suicide note and hides it behind a glove box. Detective Laura Benson, a veteran investigator with the Oregon State Police, was brought in by day 4. She had worked homicide in Portland for over a decade before relocating to Elmridge to slow down. But this case felt anything but quiet. The first thing she did was request Claire's text records. On the night of her disappearance, Claire had exchanged messages with someone saved in her contacts as M. The conversation had been deleted from Claire's phone, but her cloud backup told a story. M, you were never supposed to find out. Claire, too late. I have proof. I'm done covering for you. M, please, let's talk. Tonight. Claire, Millstone Road. 12:15, you have one chance. Claire never made it past that meeting. With the text evidence, police turned their attention to Claire's private life and discovered a very different woman from the one the community thought they knew. Claire had been keeping records. Handwritten notes, hidden in a locked box in her bedroom closet, detailed a pattern of drug thefts at Elmridge General Hospital. Painkillers like fentanyl and morphine had been disappearing in small but noticeable amounts over the course of nearly a year. The notes included initials, dosage discrepancies, and login timestamps. She'd also been tracking patient complaints. Several elderly residents at the local assisted living facility had reported being oversedated during home visits. One even claimed, "I don't remember 3 days. Just woke up and my pills were gone." At the top of every page in Claire's notes was a single word: Miles. Dr. Miles Bruckner was a 42-year-old emergency room physician at Elmridge General. He had come to town 5 years earlier after a short stint in Seattle. He was known for his charisma and long hours. Handsome, charming, always willing to cover a shift. He also had a sealed file from a former hospital due to a professional misconduct complaint that had quietly gone away with a settlement. He and Claire had been close. Too close, according to hospital staff. Some thought they dated, though Claire denied it. Others said Claire had been protecting him. Detective Benson brought Miles in for questioning. He admitted to exchanging messages with Claire, but insisted he hadn't seen her that night. He claimed they had disagreed about patient care, but that was it. He had been home alone, watching a movie, but surveillance footage from a gas station on Millstone Road painted a different picture. At 12:08 a.m., just minutes before Claire was scheduled to meet Miles's car was caught on camera heading into the woods. It didn't reappear for nearly an hour. Still, with no body and no physical evidence tying him to a crime, they had to let him go. A week later, Claire's body was found by a hunter, buried in a shallow grave near a ravine, less than a mile from where her car was found. She had been strangled. A DNA sweep of the car interior turned up something unexpected. A hair belonging not to Miles, but to Erin Nolan, Claire's own sister. Erin, the one who had made the missing person report, the one who'd led prayer vigils, the one who'd insisted to police again and again. Claire didn't have enemies. When confronted, Erin broke down. She didn't deny it. She told investigators a story that shocked Elmridge to its core. Claire had discovered that Erin was involved in the drug thefts, not just stealing pills, but using them and selling them. Erin, a part-time pharmacy tech, had been accessing the hospital's inventory through Claire's logging credentials. Claire confronted her, threatened to go to the police. Erin panicked. She confessed that she had begged Claire not to go to the authorities, that she'd followed her the night of the meeting with Miles. When Claire got out of her car, Erin was already there, waiting. It turned into an argument. Claire shoved her. Erin said she just wanted her to stop screaming. And then she didn't. Erin Nolan was arrested and later convicted of second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. She is currently serving a 35-year sentence without the possibility of parole. Dr. Miles Bruckner lost his license after a DEA investigation revealed he had been complicit in the diversion scheme. Though he was never charged with Claire's murder, he left Elmridge quietly. Claire Nolan was buried on a rainy Thursday morning, beneath the elm trees that gave the town its name. Hundreds came, nurses, patients, neighbors. Some who never knew her well, others who owed their lives to her. They spoke of her laughter, her stubbornness, her grace, and the secret she died trying to reveal. In her journal, Claire had written, "People think darkness comes from strangers, but sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who stop your heart. One pill, one lie, one betrayal at a time." The town of Elmridge will never be the same, not because of what was done to Claire Nolan, but because of how long she carried the truth alone. A haunting true crime tale set in the fog-shrouded town of Elmridge, Oregon. Beloved nurse Claire Nolan vanishes after a late-night shift. Her car is found abandoned near a forest trail, a chilling note hidden inside. "I couldn't live with what I knew." As investigators dig deeper, they uncover a web of hospital corruption, drug theft, and betrayal. Suspicion falls on a charming ER doctor with a dark past, until a shocking twist reveals a real killer, Claire's own sister. A gripping story of secrets, sisterhood, and the devastating cost of doing the right thing.